Good morning to all of you. Mr. Aridal, Professor Rao, all the delegates who have been participating on this very important workshop which has been held at Bangalore. On behalf of Government of Karnataka, first I would like to congratulate the IPPAI for doing this great job or seminar on this proposed amendments which has been introduced in the Parliament. You are helping the states, you are helping the consumers, you are helping the power industry. First, on behalf of the government, I would like to thank and congratulate you for this great efforts. I think it would have been better if you had discussed with me when you had planned this earlier, because we would have given you a full day looking at this issue. My entire team of officers and including myself, we love to participate in this. We would have been, I think, from morning to evening present here, shared a lot of issues, because which is the need of the hour, which we'll have to think on this. Any act or amendment is not anyone's child play. It is an bill which is going to be introduced, and it is a law of this country which everyone has to respect in this factor. I think on the 1st of 2014, I just joined this government as a energy minister, and from that day I am looking at various aspects. Though I was not familiar with this subject, but with this 15 months of experience, I could see that there is no much role of any governments here. It is the private sectors which has played a very major role. Though Karnataka is, as the speakers was mentioning out, we have been very ahead of various policies, looking forward, looking state. Starting from the day of when we started our generation point in Shivsamudra in 1905, before any of the states which had Asia's biggest plant in those days, which we were giving power to KGF. I think such big history we have, and now I think our capacity is about 15,000 megawatt. We have a generation capacity. And still 48% is from the Karnataka sector, and 52% is from the private sectors, from the Karnataka owned agencies. And we are buying power 52% from the others. So we are more dependable on this sector. But I will not take much on today, since I have to rush to the assembly, and a lot of some internal problems are internal means some issues have to be, since I am in the front bench, I have to participate on others. But I think I have asked my officers to be here, and again I will discuss with the organizers on various issues. One thing I would like to make clear here: as soon as I came to know about this electricity amendment bill of 2014, which was being placed, so my officers briefed me on this issue. But in total, in various ministers' conference, the first ministers' conference which was being held after Mr. Puish took over this charge, I made it very clear on the floor in Delhi itself that Karnataka is opposed to this. We want you to rethink. We want the Indian government to call the ministers and the chief ministers to first debate on this. The political leaders has to debate on this. This is not an internal house, or I don't know on this amendment who is being benefited, for whom, what will be the outcome on this is a big question which has been asked by various stakeholders, because it is a cherry pick. I think we call it as a cherry pick. I think on this whatever the issues which has been raised in this amendment, so on distribution, transmission and privatization, whatever has been proposed here, I think no one will come to Kanakpura or Afzalpur or go to Bidar and take up this responsibility. Everyone wanted to do in Bangalore or Mysore, where you flow of cash is very much there, when you have a very good consumer. This is not any government will look at it. So whether the UPA government has proposed it or ex-government as the new government has proposed, is not the point here. But I was been discussing this issue with various other colleagues of mine, including the West Bengal minister, including the Madhya Pradesh minister, where across the party line. I think none of the government ministers are happy on this issue. So we I have already on record before the minister. I am going to again place this on record, write to the minister, place it before the standing committee, that we are not interested in these issues, and they should rethink, rediscuss, and they should look in the country as a large and all sector. As Mr. Professor was mentioning on various issues, our country is much dependent upon this agriculture sector. In Karnataka itself, more than 39% of the power is being given to agriculture, and we have our own political obligations. And in those days it was about 1,200 when we announced this free agriculture to this free power to this agriculturist. Now it has gone up to from 1,200, it almost in this budget, for the first time from the last two budgets, we have kept about 7,500 crores subsidy for this agriculture sector and various other aspects. This is not a small amount. And the ESCOMs has to pay to the power corporation more than the old dues, about 13,000 crores. When situation is such on various aspects, how we can come to such type of conclusion? Who will pay? Earlier, I think in Krishna's government, we wanted to look on distribution and water. There was a big, almost, it was on the final stage. Some company from France, I think Vivendi or something, they were almost on the finishing stage. I think Mr. Das is here just now, he attended. I think he might be, he made to tell about the Karnataka aspect on that issue. Anyway, we had a big hue and cry in the assembly and we had to go back. Though we might have a different type of thinking ourselves in the political circle, but at a larger, the media plays a very major role, the judiciary plays a major role, and on the administration angle, we have to look at all sections of the society. So our own personal issues can't be forced to bring any amendment or rules or regulations. So I appeal to my central government again here to just go back, let us discuss, let us see that something should be workable. I think that whatever, I have a big note which has been already been circulated here. I think it is very, it will be very appropriate. I think I could see the proposed discussion which has been held at Bombay, Delhi, and I think Calcutta also is over, I think. I think they have done a very good exercise and lot of suggestions have come. I think today deliberation also will be on the same line. So, and even the government has to, apart from this, I thought that I have suggested, why can't you look on the 1885 Telegraphic Act? Because transmission is very much important. The flow of power is very much important. Though one line nation, one grid, I think, was been announced. Still, we had to take it very forward. There are a lot of issues on transmission. Those days, the farmers or the landowners used to permit. Now the situation is different. Every company has, when you are looking on business venture on every company, and when any small power producer or power distributor has been looked upon, every farmer or a landowner looks at his own personal angle. He is not ready to sacrifice his own personal property for the sake of others. The days have gone. So we have to look at starting from the 1885 Telegraphic Act, and from that to till today, good. As far as the distribution companies are concerned, we have farmed. There are a lot of regulators have been come. Judiciary has taken a very active role. Regulators have taken a very active role. And again, there are various lobbies working out in and out. And apart from that, whatever the lobbies, whatever the regulators may decide, ultimately in the political circle, there will be a lot of hue and cry, lot of scandals, lot of issues. Even if you want to do something good, again, lot of things. We could see even a Prime Minister again being summoned here. Whether the former Prime Minister have been involved in the coal, whether he has been responsible or not. But again, sometimes he has tried to do something for the country, but again, who has to face this? So all these issues will be again has to be looked forward. You can't protect here. And here Karnataka, we don't have any big source on, we don't have any coal here. We have to depend upon other states. There are a lot of problems. In the past 1 year after the Supreme Court judgment, 7-8 months, the entire country is boiling on this power sector. So looking at all these aspects, the country has to look upon and give a very serious thought, and from not only on this entire power sector, either it be renewable, other hydro or any other thermal, the rates, the national issues, the international issues, on the climate change, on the green power, whatever you may call. I think some saturation level may reach, I think, next 2-3 years, in the next 4-5 years. But looking all this, and the consumer at large, because almost on industrial sector, the industrial sector is also bleeding. I think is not able to buy power, produce power with his various act. Almost 50 to 53% he is paying the government on through various forms of taxes. So he's finding very difficult. Even on either be any part of tax. I don't want to discuss much on this. Though in this power sector a small benefit has been there on various other aspects, but still we have to keep the industry strong. The bank should be strong. All the financial institutions which have been supporting this have been bleeding now, and they are facing a lot of problem. So I think there should be a very major discussion on all this issue. But whatever the points which has been raised, discussed, the key issues are very vital, very important. I want all of you to discuss in length, be open, be committed, and I am sure Karnataka government will be with you, will stand by your thinking. We want to support this cause, and we will oppose this bill, and we want a big modification in this. Anyway, I wish you all the best. I think in the next, after you finish all your deliberation, I'll sit with the office bearers of this organization, and definitely your voice will be our voice. Thank you.